Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pretty Good Podcast 10, Arnold Schwarzenegger's favorite podcast. Don't look that up. It's not true. We got some delicious popcorn on the set today. Hopefully, Matt chews that right into the microphone.
Get some ASMR.
I usually don't do chewing ASMR for you guys, but listen. I didn't want to be rushing through this because I was hungry for some popcorn, so I just brought it on.
I respect it. I'm your host every week. Once again, Lucas. Go ahead, go down the line here.
Austin Burgoyne.
Special guest.
Special guest.
Craig Taylor, special.
Matt Davis.
Just special, not again.
Matt Davis, guest.
We got Brendan on the 7 and 6s over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still here.
Watch the Deadliest podcast.
over
That'll be
here.
funny. So this weekend, this sort of shit show of a football season is starting to come to an end here.
That's unbelievable.
You know, it's crazy. We got a champion and a loser sitting at this table.
Can you specify which is which?
That's the winning jersey, I believe, isn't it? Who'd you get?
I got this for winning, coming in first.
Nope.
In the Juice is Loose 2021
The Juice
fantasy
is loose.
football season.
Our Juice is Loose fantasy league, and
Got it for coming in first.
Austin and I were in the finals, and Austin came out on top.
That was a close matchup.
Very
I remember watching that that Sunday, and it was just like the odds kept going up and down
Yep.
and up and down.
Did anyone watch the Pro Bowl?
In no small
God, no.
part,
No.
Does
in no
anyone ever
small
watch
part
it?
due to that boy,
Which
you're
is
rocking
why-
Amon Ross St. Brown.
Which is why I'm brandishing this jersey. Couldn't have done it without him.
The living Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah.
The Sun God.
Did they play the Pro Bowl? And don't they do it in Hawaii like every year?
Yeah, but they did it in Vegas.
That's what I was gonna say. Did they do it
Oh.
in Vegas this year for like no reason?
So
They did
Alvin
it in
Kamara
Vegas.
could get arrested.
Yep. So
They
that
let
guys
him
could get
play.
themselves in trouble.
What happened with that?
I don't know. I think he's facing he's a football player, so he'll be fine. But he's was facing 5 years in prison.
But they knew it was him the night before. Or
What'd he
whatever.
do?
He just beat the shit out of some guy.
There's some altercation on an escalator. or
Yeah,
something,
I don't
think.
know.
They got it all on camera.
But they let him play in the Pro Bowl before they arrested him.
They're like,
You're good. You're good.
You're a superstar.
So this weekend is Super Sunday, which is Super Bowl. We got arguably probably one of the most interesting Super Bowls to me because Pat Mahomes screwed off, is not in it. Tom Brady screwed off, is not in it.
We'll never be in it.
Yep.
It's bullshit. The Steelers didn't make the cut this year. Big Ben didn't get his last ride.
We almost had it.
But we do have Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Boo for me. And we got Matt Stafford and the Rams this year, which is a yay for me. Who would you want to win, boys?
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind seeing either of these teams win. However, I'm rooting for Joey Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals because Joe Burrow is super likable and cool.
Yeah.
And I think what he's managed to pull off in the 2 seasons he's been in the league, he went to the Bengals and everybody thought what we all thought, where it's this poor dude, he's done for.
They're going to murder his career.
Going to a terrible team. He's going to be a mediocre quarterback his whole life. Kind of like the Matt Stafford deal.
I was going to say, Matt Stafford has done his time.
Where
he put in his time on the
that's-
awful team.
But can
Very
you imagine
true.
where he'd be had Amon Ra been on the Lions during his
That's true.
stay at Detroit?
True. Plus, I guess, listen, I'm a Steelers fan, so, the Bengals, it is what it is. Obviously, I don't root for them during the regular season, but they're in the playoffs. They're in the Super Bowl. They've never won a Super Bowl before, so it's kind of I don't know. Let the dog have his day.
Yo, put it in the comments who you think's going to win the Super Bowl when this episode comes out 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
Well, I just want to say that in all the mentions of any sort of gloating that the Bengals are going to do on social media, we have one response, one word, 6. So it does not matter if they win by 100 points, 6.
Yeah, they got a few more to go.
Yeah, but it's cute. One Super Bowl would be cute. I would agree. I would be happy for them if they did win, but I'm kind of going for the Rams. I really like the Rams. I think they're really entertaining.
You guys trying to talk to me right now? Seriously? you can almost talk to me. Don't even talk to me until I've had my coffee. All right, continue.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals too. I like kind of the same thing. I don't really care. Basically, what I didn't want to happen for the Super Bowl was Tom Brady make it or Patrick Mahomes to make it, and both of them are out. So this is kind of just gravy for me.
So let me ask you guys about this with Patrick Mahomes, because I remember when Patrick Mahomes first became a thing, it was kind of exciting. I feel like Patrick Mahomes has gotten the same treatment that like a pop song gets, where there's just too much fucking exposure to him, and I start hating him. Like it's like that High Hopes song by Panic at the Disco. Like the first time you heard it, you're like, this is fine, and then about the 100th time you heard it that day, you were like, I don't ever want to hear this song again.
I think like with Patrick Mahomes, people just hyped him up way too fast.
Yeah.
Like he's no doubt great and like a one of a kind athlete, but like I mean, there's other quarterbacks that can do things like he makes like a slightly hard throw and they're like nobody else in the world can do what Patrick Mahomes does.
Yeah.
Well, they tried giving him the GOAT status year 2 of his career.
Yeah.
It's like, let him play for like 10 years before we call him the greatest of all time.
That was last year where he was playing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I
got
specifically
whooped.
I specifically remember like the people, the experts before the game going around the table and being like, is it time for for Tom Brady to pass that torch as the GOAT to Patrick Mahomes?
Even Madden had the GOAT edition with both him and Brady.
Yeah. And I just was always thought like the GOAT is like a title you reserve for like people like Tom Brady or like Michael Jordan or somebody
that
who
have been doing it for like decades, literally.
Yeah.
Hate him or love him, like Tom Brady is probably, at least for right now, going to go down.
He's the
Probably
most
till we die.
Yeah, he's like the most successful football player of all time, and by wins. And
Super Bowl rings.
you think about like Michael Jordan, multiple championships, played for a number of years, is like sort of this monumental figure in American culture, and it's like Patrick Mahomes has played for like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
The dude could. I'm gonna knock on wood for you, Patty, because I'm not, but he could get like a serious injury and his career could be done.
I mean, what was that last year or the year before? He like fucked up his knee or something.
Or, I mean, you could win like 10 gold medals and take 1 puff of weed and your career's over. Michael Phelps.
Everybody can pretend to care about it for a week.
I don't know what was more embarrassing, people caring about that he like took a puff of weed or whatever, or people caring about a swimmer to begin with.
That was like a
Ooh,
really
could
big
swim
story.
back.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
You know what? How Dan Zerly feels about that? To see
Dude, Michael Phelps, man. He could have lit up every fucking day 3 times a day. It's just like he still has like all those gold medals. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Well, now like medical marijuana is like accepted too.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could say it's like for a medical. Would he get like the same treatment now?
No, I don't think it would be as nearly as big a deal as it was then.
people would still be like, ooh, but I don't think people would.
Now my child's gonna do it because Michael Phelps did.
Yeah.
So, Austin, I'm glad you're here because I don't think we've talked about it before. We took a cabin trip for, one of Matt's 17 bachelor parties.
I don't know where this is going.
I don't really either.
So we booked this cabin trip and it's out by Penn State and it's like 3 hours. I brought this I remember this trip because I just got my truck and it was like brand new and I was whining the whole time because it was getting scratches on it going up this hill.
Oh yeah.
And this hill was like, they're like, oh, the last mile of your trip, it's going to be, you got to go up this little dirt road and stuff. And we're like, okay, no big deal. And it wasn't in a truck. But Austin, you showed up a couple hours later.
Yeah. Well, so let me just preface this by saying I have a 2016 Ford Focus. And if you know what that car looks like, it's not very high off the ground.
This was a serious like hill. Like it was about like probably like a mile uphill, and it winded a little bit, and it's on like
It was like 90 degrees gravel at one point.
there's no traction. Like,
So this car was not designed for this. But so like I get up there a couple hours after everybody, and I think I called you like right before I turned onto this road, and I was like, yeah, I'll be there in a little bit. And you're like, okay, when you get to this part, go right, not left. And I had, for some reason, just completely neglected that, and I went left. So it's like the same kind of terrain, and I go up this fucking driveway for like a good 5 minutes, and my car is just like bumping up and down, and rocks are getting like jutted into the undercarriage, and it is just not good. And then I'm like, so I pull up to the house up there, and I don't see anybody, and I'm like, I don't think this is right. So then I turn around and go back down the hill, same fucking thing. Rocks just like shooting up into my car. And then once I got to the bottom and Adam was there and showed me the right way, same fucking thing. And like my tires were spinning and spinning. I got like 3 overheat like signs on my car.
Wasn't it like
my
your
car's
transmission?
Yeah.
You were
like my
my
car is gonna die right
You're
now.
like my transmission kept over.
Dude, it was terrible.
You don't need that. Yeah.
I had to take like 3 separate breaks and stop and let my engine cool down. Not good.
And we get up there, and I brought this like little quad I had when I was like 10, and I have like a beer in my hand. I'm just doing donuts in this little stupid quad. That was a good weekend. We sat out around a fire, and we had some like drinks and stuff, and we were pretty secluded up there. There wasn't anyone around us, and I had some drinks, and I thought it was hilarious. I got this giant speaker, and I was playing fart porn through it, and it was echoing down through the mountains.
I didn't remember that when you first said it, but like looking back on it now, I definitely remember those sounds from that video.
It would be like there would be like a fart, and it would just be like down the mountain.
How long did it get played for? Too long,
Way
ladies
too
and gentlemen. It was like everybody's out there and everybody thought it was hilarious for maybe the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then it just kept going.
Yeah.
Lucas is like having a blast over there.
Oh, I was in like one of those laughing fits where you just can't come down from it. You're having the greatest time of your life.
It was pretty funny though to hear it echoing. Like the people at the bottom of the hill definitely heard something.
We did that, and if you've never played a game called Stump, you get a stump, you get some drinks, perhaps too many, and you have a hammer, and you got to like flip it up and catch it and then hit someone else's nail. And we played that for like 2 days straight. We went through like an entire like 1,000 pack of nails, just pound them. That's all we did.
Yep.
And we had some good fires at night.
Speaking of fires, do you remember how like the way the pit was designed? It was like in the deck, and we had that thing going like nonstop. The
Oh, yeah.
entire time we were there.
We
It
got
caught the deck on fire.
Yeah.
We got that
It was
fire
so
burning
hot.
so hot that it started like the deck started glowing red around it, and it started like smoking.
It's actually pretty dangerous.
And I was like, "Oh, dude, we're like gonna burn this cabin down." And Dan Surly's out there at like 1 a.m. with a water hose, just like to shoot this thing, and smoke's coming off.
That we were like bound and determined to cut down a tree, but no one brought like proper equipment to cut down a tree. We had a splitting maul, and like a really shitty one at that, which is for like splitting up little pieces of wood, not for cutting down a tree. And we all took turns for a couple hours just swinging this thing at this tree, chipping away at it, until I think it was finally Dan dropped the damn thing after like 6 people took a turn hitting this thing. It's nothing manlier than going in the woods and dropping a tree with your bros.
Chopping down your own firewood.
Then we were doing some beer games inside too. That's right. I played with Go-Gurt instead of.
Okay. That annoyed the shit out of me. I was like, I did not find that funny at all. And I just wanted to be like, Lucas, just stop. Stop what you're doing.
It was one of those beer games where you gotta like flip the cups around with like alcohol and stuff in them, and it was just covered in Go-Gurt.
And then you went up onto like the second floor, and you were, like, trying to get it in the cups from the second floor.
Because I wanted to sit out around the fire. I didn't want to sit inside and play beer games. So I was like, check this out. I'm going to ruin the game for everyone.
Mission accomplished.
RJ's watching this right now, just fuming. He was so mad, so pissed off.
So before I showed up today, came home, had my little bit of downtime, and I noticed something dropped today that I was super excited about. I've said it a million times. I've worn the shirts. There was the new Jurassic World Dominion, the official. They did like the teaser trailer that I talked about, I think on maybe 2 podcasts ago. It was a legitimate trailer today. Did anyone else, Matt, did you watch it?
I saw it, and my dad sent it to me, and I have not watched it yet.
Oh, did it? I'm assuming no one else watched it yet.
It popped up on my YouTube feed, but I was like, I just don't give a single shit about this. So I didn't
know what you're
watch
gonna
it.
see. Like,
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way where I was like, I'm probably gonna end up seeing this movie.
I haven't
you know.
seen the second one. I saw the first one.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
alright.
Yeah.
My dad was like, this looks really good. You know.
well,
Well,
people love fucking Jurassic World.
and me. Do you want me to drop a bomb that like no one else is gonna care about except me of what they did? Completely unannounced, they brought back Dr. Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler as like some of the main characters with Owen. So they're linking the movies now. So like, yeah, I had really kind of low expectations. I was like, you know, how is this Jurassic
They're
World
fully
movie?
Force Awakening the
Yeah.
Jurassic Park universe.
I'm like, how is this gonna disappoint me in
It's
new
about
ways?
family.
But I had the moment where I like the trailer, and then Sam, is it Sam McNeil? Is his real name?
I
Whatever.
think it's just
Dr.
Sam Neill.
Yeah,
Neill
Sam
comes
Neill,
on the
yep.
screen, and I went like I stood up. I was like, "No way!" like, that,
Alan.
Yeah,
Alan.
I'll go see that with you for sure. I mean,
yeah.
I've seen all of the Jurassic Park stuff, so
We'll have to watch the trailer after this. 'Cause
Yeah.
I want you to check it out. But it looks like it could be interesting.
when you're watching this 2 weeks from now, check out the trailer. It's been out for a while.
Comes out June 10th, I think, this year.
Yeah. Also, leave a comment if you're watching this. Leave a comment on who won the Super Bowl.
So we know.
Yeah, so we know.
So we can place
Who
our
won?
bets.
Who's next? You decide. The only other recent movie news, I went and saw Jackass Forever. Again, throw it out to the table. Anyone else see Jackass Forever?
I had
I
no
really
interest.
wanted to. I watched a Watch Mojo video about like Jackass injuries, and I
Yeah.
was like, I would like to watch that. I mean, we talked about how it was like the number one we were growing up sleepover movies. Like,
Yeah.
put on Jackass.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I didn't really understand what Jackass was. I think I just watched people hurt themselves. But I think it'd be fun to see these old people just do stupid shit. So I'd
What-
like to see it at some point. But
What do you think it got on Rotten Tomatoes? A Jackass
Oh,
movie.
probably like an A, I think.
The Jackass movies tend to usually get around 50s,
How about an 86?
87. It was a 93 during its premiere. I thought that was like crazy that they gave a Jackass movie that high. I went to see it the fan appreciation opening night. I will say a lot of Jackass movies can get into like gross out humor, and I was worried like, is it just gonna be like dudes like eating their own shit?
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh, he's jerking off. It was actually dude, I'm glad I paid money to watch a dude play with his dick. It was actually really funny. The new cast members were actually really good, and like it wasn't just like dumb, stupid shit. Like the stunts were actually funny.
Is everybody like in it? 'Cause, like I know Bam has been going through some shit.
Yeah,
and it's like
everyone
kind of on the
except
outs
Bam.
with them.
Yeah.
Bam's
Bam's
not in it.
technically in it in the background in one shot,
Okay.
but
Did
yeah.
you see? This is relating to Jackass. Hulk Hogan went and saw the new movie and was like, "Just saw Jackass Forever. It was great." I'm paraphrasing. And he goes, "Like rest in peace, Bam. I miss you, brother."
Talking about Ryan Dunn.
And then Bam replied to the tweet and goes, "I'm still alive, but I'm glad you enjoyed the movie."
That's funny. I want to see if I can find a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
I thought it was fake. That's funny.
Yeah.
Is he like, ooh, yeah, no, that's Macho Man. He's like Hulkamania.
Did you thought that tweet was fake, Craig?
Yeah, I thought it was fake.
I
but-
choose to believe it's real.
Yeah, I feel like
I think that would be pretty funny if it's real.
But go see that movie. I know some people here wanted to see Sparkly Edward as Batman. I could
Listen.
not. I don't watch any superhero movies, so this is all you guys' realm.
Listen, this is what, like the 11th iteration of Batman, and I think that the trailer, I mean, I saw it like a year ago at whatever point, but it just looks really good. It's like, it seems like it's got like kind of a dark tone, real gritty and like serious. Not like, I don't like the Marvel movies because they're like cracking stupid jokes while the world is like about to explode.
Yeah,
It just
it's
completely takes me out of it.
It's like, yeah, that just happened.
Yeah.
It's like a competition for one-liners. Yeah, while the world's blowing up.
yeah, it
Every
infuriates me.
Every character just slowly became the Tony Stark character.
Pretty much.
Like,
Is this going to be the first dark, gritty Batman movie?
Well, no, and as I was saying, like that, it just looks different from like the actual DCU version of Ben Affleck's Batman. or
Affleck.
even the Dark Knight series.
I saw it was going to be like 4 hours long or something.
It's like
Stop
close
making
to
movies
3.
that long.
Close to 3.
Whatever happened to the hard like hour and a half movie?
Yeah.
Like that was fine. That's all you need.
The tight 90.
Quit making movies like stupid long for no reason.
I will say though, Matt and I watched was it
The
Justice
Snyder
League?
the Snyder cut.
And it did not feel its length. So I don't know.
That's what she said.
Well, I was thinking about this too. Like, do you think like with like the Snyder cut and now they want to release the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, like, do you really think it's like the producers of these movies fucking them, or do you think that like what do you think is the problem with these?
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess.
there's gotta
There's
be-
no mid-budget movie anymore, and everything is like, we got to make a superhero movie, and it has to gross $1 billion, and we're gonna spend 500 million on it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't gross $1 billion, then it's a failure, and we can't keep going.
I really like hate modern movies, and like
I know.
the new Star Wars trilogy is like a perfect example. And it's like they produce this shit because they think like, oh, this is what everybody loves. But then like people like us watch this movie and they're like, why the fuck would you put some of the stuff in there? It's not entertaining. It's not funny. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And that's like what most movies are.
So
I feel like.
my thoughts on the new Batman. First of all, I like having Rob Pattinson, or
I
as
think he's gonna do a good
our,
job.
our buddy Scott calls him Bob Pattinson, which is the most off-putting thing. I don't know why. He goes, "Oh, Bob Pattinson." So, but I am looking forward to seeing Rob Pattinson's Batman. I think he is going to do a good job, and there's a couple things about this movie that look like red flags, like the fact that they're trying to make it gritty and the fact that it's 3 hours or whatever.
That it's Edward from Twilight.
No, I don't mind. I like that part. of
Yeah,
it.
I mean, he does need to like. Whenever there is like a person who plays like a role in like a kind of almost, I don't want to say cringy because a lot of people like that, but they like need to escape that role at some point.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
Daniel Radcliffe is just Harry Potter to everyone. Like
Yeah.
whenever anyone watches it, they're like, oh, it's just Harry Potter.
Well, Rob Pattinson has done, I think, since Twilight.
He
He's
was
made.
in Tenet.
He's
Made
made
the
a
Lighthouse.
ton of movies.
Dude, that's a weird movie.
yeah.
I know. I thought I was like, I'm pretty smart. I'll understand this movie. I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
He's been
either.
in a ton of stuff, and this Batman was like the first. I think he's really stepping into like a franchise role again.
I'm mixed up. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I sent it to you. But good things. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the Rob Pattinson Bruce Wayne, and I think this. I don't know. The trailer looks cool. It looks like a cool movie.
The part that really sold it for me in the trailer is when
I like his car in this too. That it's
Yeah.
like a muscle car.
But it's supposed to be like an early iteration of the Batmobile. Like,
Looks
yeah,
like
because
it.
this is supposed to be like the youngest Bruce Wayne that they've ever put on film. So
Yeah.
like Christian Bale was like, they started from the beginning, but he's obviously like
probably like mid-30s.
middle
or so.
age. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little less than middle age. And then for Ben Affleck's Batman, they were jumping up and they were trying to do like Dark Knight Returns Batman,
Yeah.
where he's been Batman and retired, and now he's coming back. This is supposed to be young. A very young version of him, like in his 20s.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I saw a tweet that was like, Rob Pattinson said in an interview that the first shot in this Batman movie is grisly and disturbing, and someone was just like, it's gonna be that fucking pearl necklace falling from Martha Wayne. Okay.
For like the 10th time.
Well, when they said like the runtime's like 2 hours and 50 some minutes, someone was like, I better not see his fucking parents in a single shot of this. Like 30 minutes of the movie is just gonna be.
I wonder if they're gonna do like another origin.
I hope not.
Like
That's
maybe,
something Marvel's good at is they just skip over a lot of stuff unless it's a really unknown person.
Yeah.
So I hope that they follow suit.
That's what's good about Jackass. You don't have to think to watch that movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's no story to follow. It's
Yeah.
just dumb. And you can just like, oh, he got hit in the nuts.
Yeah. Jackass is kind of pure, and it's just gentlemen putting their bodies on the line for their art.
Just for people to get a laugh. The only thing that it sucked about that is I feel like the trailer showed like every stunt in the movie. Like I watched too many trailers and I was like, I've already seen this movie.
Oh. That's kind of why I don't watch a whole lot of trailers. Like, I saw that Jurassic World trailer, and like because I kind of think if I'm going to see the movie, and I know I'm probably going to see it, I don't really bother with the trailer a lot of times because I don't want a bunch of stuff spoiled for me. Because I'll never forget, like, Batman vs Superman was coming out, and they released that trailer, and at the end of the trailer, Doomsday and Wonder Woman showed up in the trailer, and it was like, cool.
I bet that was a big reveal at the end of the movie.
Like, I'm glad they showed this. The two surprises that happened in Act 3. Like, I'm glad they they were like, yeah, so every other trailer we've showed you, Lex Luthor's the bad guy.
Psych.
Get this, though.
And then Sam Neill shows up.
Here's the worst looking CGI Doomsday you've ever seen.
That thing it looked like
The Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, exactly. Which, side note, I like unironically watched the original like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from like the 90s on Netflix. Those are some weird movies. That is like super 90s, like whatever.
They're just running around in costumes and stuff. That's cool.
So weird.
I've heard there's like a cult following for the second one, like Power of the Slime.
The second one was way better than the first one.
Power of the slime.
Whatever the hell it's
Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
Yes.
Power of the slime. That's like your mom goes out and finds you the bargain bin one. Like, here's that movie you wanted.
The
We have
asylum version.
We have
Power
Secret of the Ooze at home.
Yeah.
Power of the Slime.
So
trademark that.
yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Power of the Slime.
So I have in my notes, and I don't remember what it's referenced to. I just have Kanye West written in.
Oh, it was about Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So
yeah.
normally I don't give two shits about any celebrity drama that I hear, but Kanye is always funny. He's always just goofing off and doing
I
something.
changed my name to Yee.
Yeah, he truly is like America's modern celebrity, and he so like obviously he got divorced from Kim Kardashian, and Kim Kardashian is now dating like Pete Davidson, and there was a thing of going out like Kanye West was spreading rumors about Pete Davidson, and when the rumors surfaced, it was that he was gay and had AIDS. And it's just like,
Got him.
That might be true though.
He was sitting at a party, and the guy's like, "Man, what do you think about that new guy on your girl?" "Oh man, I ain't even worried about that." "You know why? I heard he's gay and he's got AIDS."
And he has AIDS.
They ain't even, messing around. And he started dating Julia Fox, who is, if you've ever seen Uncut Gems, Julia Fox is like the mistress rebound lady that the main character starts dating when his wife kicks him out. So it's kind of art imitating life in a way. And then and then there was an article recently where it was like, Julia Fox and Kanye West, they say they're in an open relationship, call themselves their evolved beings. It's just like, bro, we get it that this is just like the girl you're with now, that after like Kanye is, he stays funny. Like his celebrity drama is always good because the man is legitimately kind of a nut. So.
He's like, man, that Kim, she's a bitch, and I hate her, and she's trash. But I'd take her back though.
Exactly. Yeah.
Didn't he buy a house like directly across the street from her?
He did. So she spent a lot of money to get him kicked like out of the house, and then he went and bought a house directly across the street. Now, they do have kids.
Yeah.
Like, she does live with like his children, so he probably wants to be a part of their lives, but like,
I mean, you could still like move down the street.
He's like standing with the curtains, like,
Yeah, like with
just
binoculars. and
looking.
shit.
She looks over.
who she got coming over?
He sees Pete roll up. Gets
like,
all pissed.
Pete, how them AIDS go?
Pete pulls up in his jalopy.
I mean, Pete Davidson does look sick, so he might have AIDS. He might be dying.
He is a sickly looking man, but apparently there's something to that. I don't know.
He's just one of those ones that he just looks like a dumpster fire and that every girl likes for some reason. Like, it's just, you can't explain it.
Yeah, for some reason. I wonder what that reason is. he's got a hanger.
That's
Allegedly.
the power of the slime.
He did have a funny bit in one of his stand-up specials where he was talking about Ariana Grande tweeting about his dick, and he's like, "I don't like that she did that. Now every girl I sleep with is going to be disappointed."
Yeah,
Suck
he's
my
like
dick.
that can only lead to disappointment.
Yeah.
So, Craig, how was your vacation?
It's good.
Where did you go?
I went to Universal Studios Orlando as well as Walt Disney World in Florida.
Mm.
So there's a lot of elements to a trip like this, and I won't bog us down with the details, but I will say two main things, maybe three. So I want to talk about Universal real quick. On the topic of Jurassic Park, Lucas, have you ever been there for the Jurassic Park stuff?
Never been there. I've never even left the block. I've never made it out of this town. I was born in a cardboard box. No food, no shoes.
By the way, guys, Craig has finally finished Harry Potter, so he can hear Harry Potter spoilers.
Post in the
That
comments.
still blows my mind.
Post Harry Potter spoilers in the comments.
Dumbledore's gay and AIDS.
I pretty much knew. I knew pretty much everything that happened, but it was still nice to have some like very minor surprises.
Okay,
but
wait. So did you finish watching the movie? Have you read the books yet?
I read all the books. I didn't finish watching
Did
all
you
the
know
movies.
that Snape was a good guy? Spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
12
And
years
I-
later.
it's sort of interesting to read it from that perspective because it doesn't seem like it was figured out until like the seventh book. Like, I don't know. I'd have to organize my thoughts better, but
It's interesting because the movies, it seems like they knew from the get-go, but the books, it doesn't seem.
Do you
like
want
they knew right
a
from
little
the
behind
get-go.
the scenes that I do know about that?
Alan Rickman knew.
Yeah, Alan Rickman knew from episode 1 that he was the only one of the cast besides, and then he was the only person besides J.K.
'Cause
Rowling that knew he was going to.
When you watch the movies knowing that, you see like little things that they do throughout the movies, and it's like, oh, he was never really doing anything bad.
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying, Craig. When you read like the first few books, it's like,
He
They
did
d-
some pretty shitty
yeah,
things.
yeah, he does douchebag things, and it just seems like he's being a douche.
yeah, and like a lot of stuff, like whenever he becomes like the headmaster, he's like very cruel for no reason. Like he in the context of him pretending, he doesn't have to be as cruel as he is.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's sort of out of character,
Yeah.
some stuff, but yeah, I did finish reading it, and it was nice going to the Harry Potter stuff, and like nothing really like the rides. I could still enjoy them, but I understood what was happening a little bit more. They have a ride based on the Gringotts scene in the seventh book,
Oh, yeah.
but it's not like the story at all.
I've
It's
always-
pretty.
So I just wanted to say that the Gringotts Bank in Harry Potter is so anti-Semitic.
When I was in line, I told my sister, I was like, "Do you think the goblins are supposed to be Jews?"
They are, dude. You
100%.
You walk in there, and I remember watching that movie for the first time in a while, and I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "What the fuck? Why did they put?" I'm like, "These are they're all little Jews. That's what they're supposed to be."
Well,
It's like,
and plus knowing like her background, I didn't put it past her. I have a friend that's really into Harry Potter. I texted her, and I was like, "Is this legit?" And she was like, "That is the strong suspicion."
yeah.
So that isn't so fun.
the fact
but-
that like they're specifically like Hagrid's like, well, there's really like only one bank in the world, and it's run by the goblin.
They're nasty little fellers
Nasty with,
with
little,
big noses.
Yeah, they have giant noses and stuff. And
they
I
have
was-
this conflict with wizards that's very arbitrary, and then like in like the story, like the one dicks them over, which that's a whole other thing I don't want to go into. But that whole
because
scene
he's
pissed me off.
some might say he's covetous. He's trying to get the sword.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I didn't write it. Okay, I'm just
Yeah, we
pointing at
don't. That's the whole point. Is it's like it's shitty, but they have the Gringotts stuff, which is cool. They have like the Grimwald place. I didn't realize this. Like I never realized why there was like one house in like the waterfront that was a different color. If you click the little knocker, the little creature comes out. He peers out and he goes like,
Oh
so
shit!
that's really
I have to
cool.
keep that in mind.
Yeah. But
I'm
and
gonna
then
try to Avada Kedavra him when he goes.
Dude, the Avada Kedavra, I always make fun of it. It's like no one can deliver that line in any of the movies without looking hilarious. But I found something the other day.
it's like abracadabra with two words switched around, two letters switched around.
It is.
But there is I was rewatching the second movie, The Chamber of Secrets, and at the end there's a scene where Harry is talking to Dumbledore, and Lucius Malfoy walks in. He does his little like smug shit.
Oh yeah.
And he walks out, and then Harry does the whole thing where he puts his sock in.
Freeze Dobby.
The free Dobby.
Spoilers.
And then Lucius goes, you messed up. Oh, Vardock.
Yeah.
And then it like gets interrupted.
Dobby like shoots him back.
Yeah. What was he gonna do? Just murder a child outside in the middle
straight
of the
up
school?
on school grounds. Yeah,
like outside Dumbledore's office, he's just gonna murder this
He
like
was straight up gonna
10-year-old.
school shooter Harry.
I was watching. I was like, what the fuck?
That was back when the movies were still like the sun was actually in the sky and it wasn't so freaking depressing.
Yeah.
I want to watch those old movies.
lighthearted.
I really want to watch that troll scene because I guarantee that troll looks like fucking shit in 2022.
It's so some of the CGI in that first movie, the troll doesn't look that terrible. It's obviously not like super realistic looking. I would say the worst
Troll bogies.
the worst looking scenes in that movie that come to mind are like when Neville is on his broomstick and it loses control. They do CGI and he's going like this.
Yeah.
It looks really bad. And then in the troll scene, like the troll has like Harry or Ron or whoever, and he's flipping him around, and that looks really bad too. So anytime they have to do like a character movement like that,
Yeah.
The worst part of that movie is when the credits end and there's just a black screen and you're just looking back at yourself, knowing that your letter isn't coming in the mail.
yeah,
That's
that's
some shit you see on Facebook.
Like and subscribe.
the little virtual world that you're put in, this fake reality of material, it's all wiped away and you're left staring in the shadow. And what's staring back at you? Yourself. And you realize you fucking hate it.
That took the words out of my mouth. But
So how was university?
we did also do the Hagrid's ride, which is really, really cool. So obviously, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you gotta go. And the one compared to like the Hollywood version, Orlando has way more stuff. So recommend going there. But not going. I hope we get to go to Disneyland someday. You would like go nuts at what they have for Jurassic Park.
Oh, I bet.
Because like. Dude, Orlando has the Velocicoaster, which that's a really awesome coaster.
That sounds sick.
No, it is. If you look up like any trailers for it, it's like it's nuts. We rode that and that was really fun. But they have like Jurassic Park ride. It's based on Jurassic Park in Orlando, and then in Hollywood they updated it so it's Jurassic World and it's way more advanced. And Lucas would just like nut. So
That actually does look pretty cool.
Hell yeah, they got blue on it.
yeah, it's like I think it's a B&M coaster for those coaster heads. I'm not a big coaster guy, but coaster head, it's a B&M.
Looks like I'll have a BM on it.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Bowel movement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It means he's gonna shit his pants.
Yes, I understand that. Yes.
I understand that all too well.
Yeah. So Lucas, you get to meet the raptor because there's like a raptor encounter where like you meet a raptor and it's all like scary. So you go crazy. And on our fictional Disneyland trip, obviously Galaxy's Edge is in Disneyland as well. It's like identical to the Orlando version.
We gotta go.
That was crazy. I spent a lot of time wishing, like, not that I didn't enjoy being there with my parents, but like I'd see someone and be like, oh, there's a prequel joke I could make for this that my dad is not gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. So
When you're with your parents, you just have to be like, yeah, it's Darth Vader, man.
it was cool. I
Now
clapped.
you're like a Misa horny.
You can't make a bunch of Babu Frick jokes. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
so that was annoying. Rise of the Resistance though is like their like headline attraction for the entire resort. Really, it's super hard to get onto, but I rode it like twice and it's nuts. Like typically now when I go on a ride I've never been on, I try to look for like how is this being done because like a lot of stuff's pretty similar. There was a lot of stuff on there I had no idea like how it was done. So the less you know about it, like the better. Try to do your best if you plan on going to not look up anything about that because there's a lot of scenes like if you see them for the first time, it's like nuts. So that was really, really cool. I did not spend $200 to make my own lightsaber or $100 to make a stupid droid.
Yet.
But yeah.
Yet.
I drank at the cantina, which was cool.
Did you drink blue milk?
My sister did. She said it was really good.
Really?
You can get it with alcohol. It doesn't taste like milk. It's like blueberry, which is kind of annoying.
Did they have like a thing on a wall you just go up to and
Oh, like no, they don't have a
you
little
squirt
cow.
it out of an alien's tit.
Yeah.
Could have milk and alien
sign me
titty.
up?
The cantina.
What an awful scene in that movie.
God,
It's so like visceral.
Last Jedi when fucking you've been waiting 50 years to see Luke Skywalker back again, and Luke Skywalker
First thing he does,
he just like takes a big gulp of titty,
You know that's warm coming out of there too.
and he's
he
just
makes
like
a face. He's like,
he's like
bizarre. Put that in, Lucas.
Who wrote that?
I don't know.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. But yeah, the canteen is cool. They don't let you be in there for like 45 minutes, and there's some little dude with a clipboard timing you. So it's not very relaxing. 2/3 of the tables don't have any seats, so you kind of got to stand, which can be annoying. And if you do get a table, and even if you don't have a table, you have to kind of share if you don't have like a huge party, which also sucks. But you're in a cantina, which is cool. It's really well themed. It looks very lived in.
Do they have that band playing that song on repeat?
Dun, 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 dun,
No,
dun,
well,
dun,
so
dun,
what they
dun,
have
dun.
for
So
music.
annoying with that.
So I don't know if you know.
Oh my god!
Imagine if you worked there. Just hearing it at every fucking.
Do you know that SpongeBob episode where there's the Fred guy and he holds up the thing and he's like all happy and then he pulls the photo down and Fred's like,
Do you after 8 hours?
yeah.
Yeah, they don't have that. I don't know if you know anything about the history of Star Tours, but Star Tours was like a long time ride at like Disneyland and Hollywood Studios. And there was initially a droid on there that was like your guide. They eventually replaced him with C-3PO just because like people like characters they recognize. But what they did in the cantina is they took that droid that used to be your guide in Star Tours and made him the DJ. So it's DJ Rex.
Pretty
and so
cool.
that's one of the songs he plays like a remix of that. So, because you got to have that music in there at some point.
Yeah.
But and they play other like Star Warsy music like. Dun, dun, dun.
Does
Like,
Kylo Ren walk around? Is he like a Disney princess now?
so
Kind
here's
of.
the problem. Like Disney in general, they don't have like walk around characters because of COVID. They have like this long distance meet and greets, so you can like see a character, but they're behind like a gate. So and before they were doing
Kylo.
walk arounds where like Rey would just be walking around, or they have original characters to Galaxy's Edge, but now it's kind of far away, and a lot of stuff because of COVID is sort of neutered. They don't have like there's suspicions that there was supposed to be a show there, like where there was some kind of confrontation in like the upper levels, but you can't. There's nothing like that. They have random stormtroopers like yelling at you on like a stage, but that's about it.
I'll go there when they allow walk-arounds again and it's ripped shirtless Kylo Ren walking around.
It's like, dude, that would be sick.
Felt like a tree.
Yeah.
Dummy thick Kylo.
I think what really add a lot is they had like random, like really rude aliens. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
that, just you don't recognize, but are just like giving you scowls and stuff. Because it's just, oh, you're a bunch of tourists in the Star Wars area. Like it feels like you're exploring a set.
I
Like,
need
not in a great way.
I need an animatronic Babu Frick. I want to meet that.
I almost got like,
and all he says is "Hey, hey."
I don't remember their names.
Hey.
Almost for the podcast. I didn't want to spend the money though. The little like rat thing that Jabba has.
Oh, Salacious Crumb.
Yeah, you can get a Salacious Crumb that's like a puppet that you
Victor
can like
Crumb.
move his mouth. So like he sits on your shoulder. He goes, "Meow." And I almost got one, but I decided not to. Maybe next time.
That's that thing's name, Salacious Crumb.
Yeah.
Badass name.
I know, right?
One of the better Star Wars names.
Yeah.
Dude,
He just-
would you just have lunch? You got a couple salacious crumbs.
He just sits there and goes,
Yeah. We also got to do Millennium Falcon because
"Oh yeah."
most there's 6 positions and 4 of them suck. They're just pressing a button, but driving it is really cool.
I can only convince her to do 2 though.
Yeah, basically. But it would be cool to have like a crew of 6 of us doing like Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
But yeah, bottom line, I might be making a video about it more in depth because I have a
That
lot
would
to
be
say.
cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I have some plans. If the script, I'm writing it right now. If it turns out good, I might make it.
I
but-
keep leaning back and I'm like cutting off on the camera. Like half of my body.
See, you think people want that video, but they want observing giraffe family and
all the
Planet
time
Zoo.
I'm gonna put into it. I bought a bunch of Galaxy's Edge books for potential video, so I'm going in pretty deep, but we'll see. Bottom line, though, I will say is I wish like we got to go there with us because it's gonna be a different experience.
It would be.
Are there
yeah.
giraffes in Planet Zoo?
Yeah, there's like every animal and a bunch of stuff you don't.
Can I
really want.
request that video? Observing giraffes. Did you know when giraffes?
When we're getting down bad, we can.
Yeah, right.
Giraffes.
Whenever giraffes go to do it, they'll pee in each other's mouths to see if they're like fertile. Isn't that weird? I liked giraffes until I read that.
What's your source on this? Because
Like Discovery, like watching a documentary on
And they
giraffes.
put that sick fucker in charge of Toys R
How-
Us.
yeah.
How
yeah,
do
that's
they-
take your kids to Toys R Us.
Peas in their mouths.
so what? Like
There's
one
children.
giraffe bends down.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that would be. A
I think
sight
of
to see.
all
It's
the
kinda hot.
animals. Could you imagine like Europeans going to Africa for the first time? Of all the animals, giraffes have to be the most like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
There's like nothing
Yeah,
comparable.
there's like that joke that's like a horse with a horn on its head doesn't exist as like a mythical creature, yet we have giraffes and platypuses,
Right.
like combinations of 4 different animals.
Yeah. Fact check,
Not
Lucas.
not safe for work going on over there on that.
I did
computer.
see, speaking of giraffes,
Whoa, that is some nasty giraffe
Oh,
porn.
jeez.
whenever we went to Kilimanjaro Safari at Animal Kingdom, there was a little baby giraffe, and it like got really close to the thing, and like because animals can walk in front of like the thing because they're like live animals and it's like a live range, and like they'll like block the view, and then she was like standing in front, wasn't moving, and it was cool, and she walked like real close to me.
You were like, hey.
But on the topic of Planet Zoo, though, one disappointing thing, and maybe I'm just a sick fuck, but there's no realistic animal mating. They just like
There's no peeing in each other's
yeah, a
mouth.
baby just spawns inside the mom, and it's like, and there's no like birthing. And it's like, I know this is a game for like kids, but I want to see animals fucking. There might be mods for that. I imagine there would be, but like, just for historical accuracy, I need to see the baboons getting freaky deaky.
Get your Zenu t-shirt that just has Greg's face that says, I want to see animals fucking.
For 30 minutes.
The hot coffee mod for Planet Zoo. So speaking of games,
Oh my god.
we got Lucas's Corner again, one that probably only I'm going to care about. Coming out March 4th. Did anyone ever play Gran Turismo? Or is it just me?
I played.
I hate cars. I'm end of conversation for me.
I played whichever one was on like the PlayStation 2 way back in the day.
There's
I,
probably 4 was like the real big one.
maybe, but I just like drove around. Like I didn't really try to race people. I just
Yeah.
drove.
I love like Gran Turismo games. And it's probably gonna be one of the biggest releases. Here's something weird. There's the Forza. Is essentially they copied Crucio.
I don't know if they say because I read it in the book.
Stop it! Stop it! Can't you tell you're upsetting you?
Now I know you guys don't like car games, but Forza Horizon 5, check out the Zenu shorts about it, was the #1 released game on the Xbox platform for like players on day one, which was like surprising me because I'm like, hey, other people like car games. But that's my little corner. Gran Turismo, the grandfather of all car racing games, is coming out.
I'm jealous. I wish I cared about those games more than I do.
They're
'cause I
really
think they're
fun.
really in depth. I love
Oh,
like
they're
how the
ridiculous.
cars look.
Yeah.
Like I think if you're a car fan, like Forza and Gran Turismo are such cool games. It's not for
The
me.
graphics are the only word I can think of are like dummy good. Like seriously, look up. Like I know you're not going to.
It's not the only word he could think. of.
I'll throw like a screenshot or 2 up, but the graphics in the game are like, I'm really excited just for that. And I normally don't really give a crap. About
I don't know if it was Gran Turismo, but I don't know how real this is, or it was some foreign country's news broadcast or whatever. They showed like a clip of a video game of like this limo driving around this course, just being absolutely reckless. And they were told that it was like an audition for the driver of the president's limo. But it was like so clearly footage from like a video game. They just didn't realize it because the graphics were so good.
Yeah, they seriously like if I was just walking by and glanced at something, I would think it's real footage. Like that's how good they look in this game.
Wow.
Yeah, I will say my one moment I did play Forza Motorsport 2. I got the 360 combo pack with Forza 2 and Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And I'm pretty sure they had my first car ever was a Saturn Ion, and I think they had it in that game. So I was doing these races in my white Saturn Ion, and I really appreciated that.
I used to do that because I have my SRT4, and they would put them in the game, and I would build my actual like project race car that I have like in the game, and I was like, this is so cool, man.
Yeah.
I know. But the Saturn only goes so far. It like, peaks out at 90 miles an hour. Like,
The engine blows up.
Start
Yeah.
shaking.
yeah.
So, did anyone play the other thing I was curious about? Anyone play the new Pokemon game, the Legends Arceus?
Literally, the last Pokemon game I played was Ruby and Sapphire for the Game Boy Advance.
I feel like I'm the only one
Been a
that
couple
still
years.
actually plays them.
No, a lot of people do. I don't know. I feel like it's been so long. It's just
It was like
it
the-
seems really cool.
Well, I believe I saw that was like the #1 that Pokemon game outsold like Animal Crossing on
Yeah,
like
that's what I
first
thought was
day
crazy about
downloads
it.
or something like
It's
that.
the highest rated Pokemon game.
So you're not the
a
only one that
decade.
plays it.
Yeah, I haven't even played it. My girlfriend plays it.
Yeah.
And it's really weird because you walk around as a person and you like physically just throw like it's like plays like Breath of the Wild but with Pokemon.
Yeah,
It's
it looks
like
very
super
similar to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's like really weird, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but
It's a new like I was watching Donkey did a review on it, and he's like, this is like the second Pokemon game. Because all the other ones are basically just the same game iterated over and over again, versus this is like, I mean, I think there's similarities to like the Coliseum game. I never played it, but but it's like this is something new, and a lot of people really wanted like a 3D game like this since like the GameCube. So I think this means a lot to a lot of Pokemon fans.
I do like that they tried to do this like big open world and it worked really good, but the Switch uses cartridges that are like this big. So like you'll be watching like the draw distance is like 50 feet in that game, I swear.
Apparently, it looks awesome with the OLED model. If you have an extra $100 and bought the OLED model, it looks really, really pretty. But most people don't.
Oh, I bought the Pikachu and Eevee edition that came with the Pokeball controller for Let's Go Pikachu that they claimed would be useful in other games, and that was the only game you could use that like $50 controller with. Glad I bought that.
Yeah.
So that I've been replaying Borderlands 3 because we got the new one, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, coming out. Austin, you playing whatever's free on PlayStation?
Yeah, I
right
think I looked up the name earlier. It's
RJ strategy. It's free or under $5.
yeah, it's Tiny Tina's whatever Assault on Dragon Keep or something like
now?
that.
Yeah, that's it. Assault on Dragon Keep.
Yeah, so I downloaded that off of like the PlayStation Network for free this month.
It's Borderlands 3: The Power of the Slime.
I'd never played a Borderlands game though. I've always wanted to. I
love
the style looks really cool, and it's like a different kind of shooter. I've only been playing it a couple days, so I'm still like kind of low level, kind of figuring it out. But I like it so far. It's been looking for a new game for a while.
Play Borderlands 2 or Borderlands 3. Borderlands 1 can be aged a little bit. They're fantastic. I finally convinced Katie to play them with me, and we just beat Borderlands 2 and we just beat Borderlands 3 yesterday. Phenomenal games, especially if you want a couch co-op game that like you can convince anyone to play, that it's that game. Borderlands is really good. I remember even playing like the first one. Just I would come home from school and play with like 3 guys online, and it was like the best time I ever
A little
had.
gay.
No.
Yeah, once I beat this, I might have to go and play like the originals because I've always wanted to. Like ever since they came out, I just never.
They're always on sale for like $5 anymore. I just like rebought them all again because I was too lazy to like go find them.
I always had a very hard time with the humor. It's very meme humor, which I just can't stand. It's like
They definitely try to like be funny in this game, and I just kind of over.
I'm surprised. Yeah, if you hate Marvel, that's like Marvel times 10 in terms
Tiny
of like.
Tina
But
has a
this-
tendency to be one of the cringier things in that game to me.
Yeah,
Like her character is cringy to me.
So I don't know anything about them. Like I thought that these were all new characters. I didn't know that they were kind of like already established.
That was
in the
actually
universe.
an expansion pack, a
it was like
standalone
DLC.
for the second game. So you can play that like with your like as you're playing the second game, you can go directly to that, or you can play it standalone.
Okay. Yeah, like, I mean, they don't try like they don't over try to be funny, and like it doesn't really take away from the experience for me. I'm just more. Have you played this? At all,
Have
this
you
one?
been enjoying it though?
Yeah, I played it I think I downloaded it last Friday or whatever.
Okay.
But there's this one part that I just played. There's like so many enemies that come at you and just relentlessly shooting you. And like I died 5 times, and there's an option to put it on easy mode where you take like significantly less damage. And I had to do that because I was like, this is just fucking ridiculous. This is impossible. So there's a lot of things to figure out with this
That game, it's one of those. The second one is not too bad. The first one is horrible. The third one, they kind of mostly fixed it. Your level, like if you jump up one level, all of a sudden those dudes who were just beating the shit out of you are just like nothing anymore.
Yeah.
Like the leveling really, and then building your skills properly. But are you playing it by yourself?
Yeah.
It's absolutely like 10 times more enjoyable if you have someone, because you can revive each other and like there's skills where you can like help each other out.
I wanted to get Sean, my friend Sean, to play this game because he's really the only one I know that like still plays. Like 6 months ago, I was like still playing Warzone with a bunch of like everybody that we played with, and like now nobody talks about that game. So like I kind of lost all of my video game friends. They're all playing like other shit like Rocket League, which I suck at.
Ugh. I hate that game.
What other games you boys playing?
I'm playing Pillars of Eternity, which is a CRPG.
That's a little too memey for me.
No, I mean truly not compared to Borderlands. No, so it's cool. It's made by Obsidian, which
Ever heard of them?
yeah, a lot of classic RPGs, and I've always struggled with CRPGs because they're very wordy. Obviously, it's like reading a book, so you have to be.
RPG.
It's like it's hard to describe. It's sort of like if you ever seen old school RPGs that seem like they're sort of on a grid, and they're very text heavy. They're like evocative of like D&D and stuff like that. And this one, like I sometimes like you want to sit down, you just want to fucking kill stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I have to be in tune with my mood to want to be engaged with the story. This one, I'm getting real into it. You kind of have to make obviously a little bit of background for your character and have them in mind to have like the full fun. So I really like that. I'm enjoying that. I tried playing when I was flying. Play a little bit of Final Fantasy VII. I never played that on Switch, so that was cool. I played a little bit of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which I bought and never really played. So I think for right now, it's the main things I'm focusing on. Because for a while, it's like I was in a slump where I needed to find a game that like resonated. But we haven't played online in a very long time. I kind of want to get back into Warzone because I haven't played the new map.
I am so over Warzone at this point. That game has been broken so many times. I've just completely given up on it.
I will get back online once I finally get the new Xbox. I've just been putting it off. And then that's when I'll finally jump back. But I have this really bad tendency. Sony keeps doing these like sales where it's, end of year sale, beginning a new year sale, Martin Luther King Jr. Day sale.
Yeah.
And it's like 60 to 80%.
These are all his favorite games.
Yeah. And I keep buying, shout out to his family. I keep buying like all these $5 games and stuff, and I'll play them for like 2 hours. Like I bought like Dragon Age Inquisition, played it for like 2 hours. Probably won't touch it again. Then I like went back to the list. I'm like, I'm gonna buy Lego City Undercover. That looks fun.
I have a bad habit of buying. I buy collections. That's my newest thing. So like I bought the Darksiders collection. I've never had any desire to play those games.
I bought Darksiders 2 a few years ago, like out of the blue. Didn't play the first one, had no idea. I never beat it because I just had no idea what was going on.
I know. So like, but like if I see like a good deal, it's like, oh, this is every game in this series. It's $20 or less. I'll fucking buy it.
Yeah.
Just to own I own these games. Like there's something very appealing about that. They had a Mega Man bundle. I have very little interest in Mega Man, and it was like Mega Man 1 through 11 and Mega Man X 1 through 10 and like all the side shit. And I almost got it, but it was like $40.
Are you honestly gonna play the old Mega Man from like 1802?
I did play Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 still holds up very well, but that's only I think Mega Man game I've ever played.
Is that Harry Potter game ever going to come out? That Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out in September.
Wasn't it supposed to come out like last year originally, and then
it got delayed?
Dude, I'm pretty stoked. A game that's coming out soon is that Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
Wasn't that supposed to come out last year too? Did that get pushed back?
It was, yeah. It got pushed back to like March or April.
I feel like every release title for like these new systems got like half of them got pushed.
Looks really good though.
God of War.
Yeah,
the new God of War. Yeah,
this is a big month because Horizon. I didn't like the first one very much, but I try this one that's coming out.
I tried to play Horizon, but it was just it was one of those games where there's just like so much to do. It's
Horizon
overwhelming
One Dusk
at the start, and
I
gave up on it.
I don't like gear in games, like gear systems. I really don't.
Shut up! You heard me.
Yeah.
Did you say?
It was a terrible joke, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So about
Also,
slime.
No, it's an Easter egg if you listen back to this episode.
Brendan, shout out for Total War Warhammer 3 coming out. So that game is really cool. Being on Game Pass.
I am playing a new game, by the way.
What game?
I took a break from Knights of the Old Republic, so it's not a new game.
Okay, I assume it's a game that we all played 10 years ago.
It is.
You finally started playing.
It is, yes. So last year, you encouraged my wife to buy me Fallout 4, which was a game you all played 10 years ago.
Actually, real quick, I got my PlayStation 4 in like late February or March of 2020, like literally a week before like lockdown and like everything shut down.
Oh yeah.
And Fallout 4 was the game that I bought with it. I played God of War because my brother had it and I wanted to replay it, but I bought Fallout 4 with it and I played that after I beat it.
I enjoyed Fallout 4 a lot, and I dumped an embarrassing number of hours into it. And I remember I was driving you crazy, Lucas, because you kept wanting to talk about the story with me, and I did not like. I didn't give.
You would not progress.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit about that story. I had like 20 sets of power armor. I built up all my settlements.
So I didn't.
And I just went out and I like scoured the entire map. And then once I did all that, I was like, all right, I guess I'll side with the railroad or whatever. And
I did not fuck with the settlements building
Yeah.
at all in that. It was
Yeah.
just too much shit. And I'm like, I don't want to spend my time playing this game,
Dude,
building dumb shit.
it was my life. I was I played it.
Games like that I really love, like building up. And
That's
feeling
just
like
too
I
much.
played
You
it
have a
during
tangible-
the pandemic too, and it was like I would go in and I'd be like, all right, what do I have set up here? And I'd start building their little houses, and I'd go out and I'd collect armor and clothing for all of them, and it's like, okay, this person is the bartender, so I'll give her a nice dress, but this lady's on I have
Give
this
her no dress.
I was like, I have this lady stationed on patrol, so she's going to get that nice armor I've been holding on to, so here you go. And
you like personify them, and like that's for me, it's really fun.
yeah, I got really into it. And so to get to what I'm playing now is I've heard every Fallout person says that Fallout New Vegas is like the best Fallout.
It's called like the pinnacle. It's aged a little bit at this point,
So
but that's like the pinnacle.
I was playing that when I had my PS3 back in college, and I played that probably more than I did Fallout 4. But eventually, my PlayStation just got too old, and like that game is fucking massive. There's just so much shit in there. Like it got to the point where every time I'd load it up, like after 5 minutes, it would just like glitch, and you'd like skip forward 10 feet, and it was just unplayable.
You
And I was-
turn the old PlayStation on. It's
yeah, dude, it was terrible.
Well-
I was really disappointed that I didn't get to like play more of that game.
I got it on Game Pass.
Obsidian, same people made Pillars of Eternity.
I am aware that Obsidian made it. So Obsidian also made Knights of the Old Republic 2, the game
yeah.
that I play every other year. So, and I like Obsidian's games. So like Knights of the Old Republic 2, and
South Park.
I remember playing Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
I really liked as an Obsidian game, and New Vegas definitely feels like an Obsidian game.
Yeah.
So I will say, not having any nostalgia for the game, it is a little dated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've tried to go back to it.
Some of you may disagree with me watching. It feels a little dated, like playing it. I'm like, especially when you play Fallout 4, and Fallout 4's mechanics are so conducive to like a modern first-person shooter, and then I play this game and it's like,
There's no like aiming.
yeah, it kind of looks it doesn't look as good as it could, and like the gunplay is a little janky at times. Like I'm constantly like,
So
when I'm in a big firefight, I'm like, God fucking damn it. And it's not because I'm bad at like games. Like I play first person
I
shooter.
love when you
games,
VATS and you're like 2 feet away and it
Yes.
like misses,
Yeah.
misses, and you're like, come on.
one
Yeah.
thing I hated about New Vegas, and maybe I'm just stupid and never figured it out, but I'm pretty sure you can't run in that game. You can only walk.
you can't run.
And like with like Skyrim and Fallout and everything, I typically don't like to use the fast travel unless I'm like,
Yeah.
I like to explore
respect
every
that,
single
yeah.
way that like, and I'm just like, God, this is fucking taking forever.
I played Oblivion for almost like 30 hours before I figured out you could fast travel in that game. But the old one,
Yeah.
Morrowind, if anyone's ever played that, like didn't have a fast travel or didn't have a navigation
the sprint
system
the
either.
sprint thing drives me crazy, Austin, because it's like if you get into an engagement where you're fighting like 5 people and you're like not powerful enough to
Those
kill them,
bugs, dude.
you're
So annoying in that.
trying to like
I walk when you can ride.
you're trying to like retreat, and I'm like turning around and I'm like, God, I can't run, so I'm just like
right on your ass.
I'm like this, and like a king rad scorpion is just behind me, just going like this, and it's like,
Yeah.
you've been poisoned, antidote. You've been poisoned, antidote.
yeah.
You know, we were talking about how you get attached to characters sometimes that you like meet in these games.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it? It's so disappointing. Like after you complete that character's arc, the last one I can remember was when I played Cyberpunk when it came out, and then that character only like says 2 lines.
Oh,
Like the rest
yeah.
of like you really like this character. They had such a good story. It was Pan Am in Cyberpunk, and I was like, wow, this character's like really good. You get to bang her in this like.
I was about
in this-
to say, especially since that's a love character. So
yeah.
Is it true that you got to like design your character's genitals?
Yeah, you can see like you choose guy or
Yeah,
girl.
but
You
there's
choose
like,
the
there's like
length,
3
size.
options, which kind of
Yeah, but
isn't
it's just weird that it's like
So you
there.
you have sex with Pan Am, and then she just only says 2 words to you, and you're like, what did I do wrong? Like,
Your
was like,
head.
is there something?
DLC out.
Is there something wrong with me? Like, why does she want to talk to me anymore?
You know,
Was I bad?
She like cold shoulders you too. She just stands in the corner and she's like, "Good to see you, V. How are you, V? Good to see you, V. How are you, V?" And I'm just like, "Come on."
I thought what we had was special. So, Matt, you gotta fuck New Vegas. I am not in the New Vegas camp. Fallout 3 is maybe even a little more dated, but Fallout 3, you get DC, which is cooler, I think, than Vegas, and you get the Pittsburgh DLC.
Yeah, there is the pit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pit.
Play the OG Fallout 1 and 2. They were like top down
Yeah, they're,
point
like,
and click ones.
completely
I used to
different.
play I started on Fallout 2 when I was like
My initial thoughts on New Vegas were like, I don't know, it's a little dated. You guys are like, all right, you need to play Fallout 3. No, 1 and 2. Start there. Get the top down 1 and 2 game. You'll hate it.
Something I wanted to bring up too. So all these games we wanted to come out are getting pushed back too. Are games taking too long to make? Like sometimes I have a fear, like I'll get to play the Elder Scrolls 6. Will I die before Elder Scrolls 7 comes out?
No, I think first of all, the games are coming out too quickly because there's way too much stuff to play. And I think with how labor is right now, I think that if anything, games need more time.
Yeah.
And publishers are understanding that, I think, now. But
You think there's anyone that's like 70 years old that all they want to do is play Elder Scrolls 6 and they're like, you know, I might die before it comes out.
By the way, I will say I'm pretty early on in New Vegas. And so I came into contact with Caesar's Legion. And there's this little mission where you can go rescue the prisoners that they captured from, like, it's either I think it's Nipton, because there's Nipton and Novak, and I did not have the manpower to like go take these guys on, but I had a grenade launcher, and so I went and
Fat man.
I went. It wasn't the Fat Man, it was just the grenade launcher, and I went and I rescued these prisoners, and I'm at such a negative like affiliation with Caesar's Legion that I kept trying to get to Novak, and like these 5 assassins just kept showing up to kill me, and I had nothing to kill them with, and I was finally able to kill them by like I killed a bunch of powder gangers and got a bunch of dynamite. And so like 5 Caesar's Legion guys come up over the hill, and I'm like, God damn it. I'm like trying every route I can. I'm like going up the road. I'm like going through the mountains, and like they would just always show up. And so finally, I honestly didn't even use the TNT. I got through on like a glitch. Like they showed up and they didn't want to kill me for some reason. I was like, this is a glitch, but I'm fine with it. I'm going to go. And I finally made it to like the next town. So I guess I already made my decision that I'm not working with Caesar's Legion because I feel like they're going to kill me when I go up to their
Every
camp.
time like playing Skyrim or Fallout that I was faced with one of those decisions, like, you know, you complete a quest for somebody and you have the option to kill them or whatever, I would like pause the game and look up on the wiki,
yeah, I did
like,
that
what's
all
the
the
best
time.
way to do this?
It was
Yeah,
like a
I-
life decision deciding whether
yeah, I
or not
put
to
way
do
too much
something.
thought into that shit.
I refused to progress the Skyrims. I played it like 11 when it came out, so there was like no help guides yet. And then when I got to like the main decision for the storyline, it took me over a year to decide. Like I would literally go and then I would like set the controller down and go do something, or like, you know, just go somewhere else in the game.
The avoidant,
not ready.
Avoidance circle.
Yeah, I'm not ready to decide yet.
But like really it did change like the outcome or whatever, but really it didn't make a difference.
No.
at all. Like,
yeah, that's the thing with choice in games because you can't like have a totally branching story because you can't make a whole game that no one's gonna get. Only certain people are gonna get to see. Like video games always have to dance around that, but
well, there's that one game, I think it's called Heavy Rain, that does do that.
Yeah.
Like, it has a whole shit ton of outcomes and like little decisions that you make throughout the game completely change.
There's something like
everybody
that.
gets like a unique outcome.
Like Until
throughout the
Dawn
game.
did that too.
Yeah.
And there's a couple games that like the butterfly effect that change your game.
although games like that, they're like completely like linear. It's not like a game like Fallout where it's open world, you can go wherever.
Yeah,
versus like
Yep.
a game like Beyond Two Souls or like another David Cage game what's that one? The Too Human, Detroit Become Human. That is like by the same people, and it's like there might be branching stuff, but it ultimately has to kind of loop in together. Like if you look up the choices, there'll be 2 different choices, but they ultimately have the same outcome. Like you either kicked out for this reason or this reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough because when I was younger, like Mass Effect 2, like fucked up my perception of choice in games because that there is a right decision to be made to like get everybody to live, but a lot of games aren't like that. So I had a hard time understanding that like in some games there's not like a right decision. I was like, there has to be a way, like a better choice, but a lot of games don't have that. It could be tough, like for me to pick. So. You know, the classic one is GTA 4 Playboy versus Dwayne. So,
or the GTA 5 final mission where you get 2 dumb choices and 1 smart one.
yeah, I couldn't believe anybody would have picked
Kill Michael or Trevor or neither.
Yeah, there's so many people that were like, "Oh, I killed Michael." It's like, are you dumb?
Why?
Like,
You just lose him as a character. Well, I thought like when I first played it I'm like, okay, kill Michael, kill Trevor, or maybe like the third one, like Franklin will end up dying or something. No, everyone lives because
that's
I
like
obviously
the preferred and
yeah.
So I do like I don't know. I like the ending obviously, but it would be cool if you had to make that choice because it's like really is sort of subjective which one you think is worse.
Yeah.
So that was cool, but I can't believe how many people were like, "Yeah, I killed Michael." You fucking. But that's a game. Oh, speaking of that, in the news, did you see they surpassed 160 million units of GTA 5? And just for
I probably
perspective,
have like 4 of them.
yeah, like a Call of Duty game is considered very successful if it sells like 10 or 12 million.
160 million.
And 160 million copies. Apparently, it's something to do with like shark cards, and like it's cheaper to buy a bundle of like the game plus shark cards than it is to buy just shark cards alone. I don't totally get it, but there's some kind of scam that little kids run to get more shark card points. But either way, 160 is 160, and that's like crazy. So that's probably gonna be the best selling game like of all time.
Probably until GTA 6 comes out.
True, I'm not sure if it'll
GTA 6, I can't wait for GTA 6 to bomb so hard because it's such like it's gonna
been
have
hyped up
so
for the
much
last
hype to
10
live
years.
up to.
All you had to do was follow the damn trains.
Yo, is it gonna be set in Pittsburgh?
Oh,
I bet they use Vice City,
Big
Los
Ben, the
Santos,
main
or Liberty
character.
City.
Could you see like
I hope it's Vice
Dude,
City.
if it is Pittsburgh, I'm gonna be sitting there like if I ever see a really Pittsburgh thing, I like wave my invisible terrible towel, just like I'm like, oh my god,
I live
get
there.
the fuck out.
Ben Roethlisberger is going to be a playable character.
Voiced by Ben Roth.
You're going to meet him in the bathroom of some club.
From
It's
Manny
like, I need
Brothers.
you to, yeah, he's like, I need you to spike this
Allegedly.
drink, don't ask.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
What are some like cities you think could be realistic? Maybe not ones they've already done, but like
I bet they
think
do Vice City.
Toronto would be cool. Like say it's a city they've never done before. Like
Vice City.
no,
So Vice City's supposed to be like Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they could do like Vegas or
I
something.
would say Vegas.
Yeah, I can see them doing that.
Seattle would be kind of cool. Someone said something. I don't remember what it was. Washington D.C. would be kind of cool, but
I feel like there'd be too much implication of like crime in the
What-
capital, like being
What is
something.
to set it in a foreign city? You could put it in what the hell's what is the city? It's like Abu Dhabi or whatever. Is that right?
Oh, yeah,
the really
the UAE.
advanced-
Yeah,
and-
yeah. You could
Saudi
put it.
Arabia, you talking?
Yeah, it's in like
United Arab
capital.
Emirates.
yeah, it's in like the UAE. Yeah,
I have a friend at work who like is from there. He shows me pictures. It's like fucking like nuts.
Yeah.
that
What?
would be cool.
that's what I mean. Like that city's got a lot of crazy futuristic stuff, and it's like built for like rich people basically.
Yeah.
So if you set
There was
you set it there could be some interesting.
There was a
stuff.
large Saudi population at Robert Morris where I went to college, and like I was friends with a couple of them, and they all were just like, yeah, my dad sends me a couple grand a month for, you know, whatever I want, and like they were driving these nice ass cars, and they're all just filthy rich.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy about that place, because I like follow like the car channels and stuff. People go there and they get like filthy rich, and everyone there drives like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches. But what happens is in Saudi Arabia, they follow Sharia law.
Mm-hmm.
So if you default on a payment, that's considered a crime that you can go to jail for and face a death penalty in Saudi Arabia. So some of these people go there.
rolling the dice there. That's like the Aztec haircut.
Well,
death,
yeah.
beating to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people go there and they'll become millionaires with these companies, and these companies will like tank. And they went out and bought these Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and so they get fired essentially, and they can't make the payment. that city has the most abandoned supercars. Like the streets are just lined with abandoned supercars of people who fled the country.
Yeah.
It's like there's
They
this
don't
weird
wanna
thing.
get-
You can go on auction sites and like bid on these, but if you look it up, there's like this mass amount of like every parking garage there is just filled with abandoned supercars and shit. It's the weirdest thing.
There's also like slave labor in that city too.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
that's
in, like,
kind of
a-
why.
you seen
GTA side mission.
Have you seen pictures of it's like from the 90s or even early 2000s? It's just like completely flat. There's like one building, and then it's like 2010 or so is when they like it
Like
just
the thing-
came up overnight.
That one building is still there. You go and he's like, "Hey, it's Mickey's Pizza Shop, the original. Come on in.
I drive a Ferrari. Your pizza's $2,000.
Come on in. What do you want on your pizza? Oh,
Saudi Arabia is known for their pizza.
right.
There's those videos,
And a guy named Mickey serving it.
It'll be like a time lapse of them building like those skyscrapers or whatever and like building up the city. There's one TikTok. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. The caption was like, Ed Sheeran, I think I want to go to Abu Dhabi. And it was like that footage but in reverse of the building just like deconstructed. And like, the city was just going back. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
We're getting close to our time here. One thing I want to touch on off last week,
penis.
Sony bought Bungie. Yeah, I'll do that later after the show.
Something I wanna
Sony
touch
bought
on.
Bungie. We will see where that goes. We talked about that last week. We wanted to close out with who's your favorite porn star? Was what was suggested to me. So we can go ahead and start with that. I'm gonna have to look someone up.
There's
Oh,
nothing.
yeah, you definitely don't know any off the top
There's
of your
nothing
head.
I
else
honestly
on.
can't. I'm on the spot. I can't think of
There's
anything.
nothing else on the suggestion sheet. It's just the porn star one.
Yep. Hit me with it. Oh damn it! I just brought up Pornhub.
Look at his
Google's-
recommended.
This dude
Hold on.
Google's porn star.
List of porn
Something your dad would
stars.
do.
Here, let me look on bigfuck.tv/stars.
Big fuck. Jesus Christ.
We got to get at least 2 names here before we end the show. So 2 of you are giving me someone.
All right, I'm gonna throw out. There's a dude. And
Whoa, 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 whoa. What? A dude is your favorite porn star?
Well, hold on. You might see why. His name is Small Hands. So, anytime you see
Mia
him,
Khalifa, there's a name.
when you see him credited on a list, it's like Small Hands.
Small hands.
Actually, I'll go with Lana Rhodes. I do know that name. Isn't she like a bitch in real life or something?
She's like trying to get
Picking Lana Rhodes is like it's like saying vanilla is your favorite ice cream.
I heard she's
I'll
like
go with Christy Mack because we have that history of
yeah.
when you sent me her picture in boot camp.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go Christy Mack.
I like that's a good choice.
I heard Lana Rhodes is like trying to sue to get all of her videos taken off the internet, which that's how the internet works.
That ain't gonna
of course. But she like
She ain't
really,
gonna get them off my hard drive.
She apparently like really regrets getting into the porn industry, from what I heard.
Well, I think that she wants to be like a serious actress or something now, and like she wants everything.
Now she
raised.
can't because like
Well, it depends what you want to do because Mia Khalifa does a bunch of like internet stuff. Like she'll go on podcasts. She doesn't do porn or anything.
Mia
but-
Khalifa, come on the podcast.
I mean, to be fair, she has her own OnlyFans, so I think that's like in the sphere.
that's gonna be our new deadliest warrior host.
Mia, do you care about Deadliest Warriors, or do you not care about it? And just
What if she's
sit
like
here
a
on the
closet
podcast?
super fan?
We have to
She
change.
is out.
All right. No, I saw what she said. That's pretty good. Craig, do you have one?
Yeah. So I gotta say that
Your mic's off.
I can't fix it. I can't fix it, Brendan. Just go to Austin. My mic's fucked up.
No, I don't want to. It looks like you're really eager to say who your favorite porn star is, Craig. I don't want to.
can't. My mic's fucked up. Dude.
Use
I
mine.
can't. Here, let me see that. Can you hear that, Brendan? Can you hear that? I don't know what's going on. It's crazy.
Oh, it was off.
It was. Shit.
Oh,
It was on.
hold on. Craig sent me a message. He said, "Edward Penis Hands."
Johnny Sins? Is
Johnny
your-
Sins.
You gotta love Johnny.
Yeah, that's honestly a respectable pick. You gotta love Johnny. I don't know. Your favorite porn star, I feel like it changes. You know, if I wanted a favorite porn star, like, you know, I'm not married to any of them. The whole point is that there's a different one every time.
The whole point of this subject has already gone on too long.
Right, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. This has been Pretty Good Podcast. What episode? 10. Check out
Honey
New
Gold.
Deadliest Warrior. We just did the team opposing the Allies versus the team opposing the U.S. in the 1960s, 70s. We got, what's coming up next week? Probably more when this episode's coming out. Is that Roman Centurion versus Rajput?
Yes, I am currently in the process of editing Aztec versus Jaguar, and it's a lot because Walshy got to put all the Walsh laughs in there.
Yep.
But they're important to the integrity of the piece. So that'll go up, and then we just recorded, like you just said, and then we have already in the pipeline Roman Centurion versus Rajput. So that'll be back to back to back, nonstop Deadliest Warrior.
You'll get tired of it. Just kidding. It's a good show. We got season 2. We got our hands on the sim again, and we're going to be putting the season 2 Warriors into it. I can say that because it's going to be coming out probably around this video.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to blow our load too early like last
I thought you
season.
were going for the high five. My bad.
I was waving the terrible towel.
Thanks, Austin, for coming on for this episode.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I had fun.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Hey, we'll see you next time.
Vanna Bardot.
Play us out, Brendan.
Boo.